Welcome back to I Am Reminiscent, where astrology meets intuition. Thank you for joining me today. Let's dive deeper into the stars and see what messages are here for us.
And I see it's gone to some astrology. Well, baby, I can see your face.
Okay, let's get into this week's astrology. I feel so behind. This retrograde was just like, it was really like tempestuous because it was like I'm doing my best to stay on schedule, but things was just happening out of my control. And it's like, okay, just let it go, just let it happen. All right. So now that Mercury is direct, yay, we're only in the shadow period for a little bit. Okay, I didn't know what that was. All right. So now that the full moon has passed, I hope everyone had a good full moon. All right, the full moon was with Jupiter and square off with Neptune. So definitely a lot of things may have came up in regards to people being honest or seeing through people and expecting people to tell you the truth about who they are. A lot of narratives may have been pushed, and of course, the occasional psyop. But looking forward, we have today, Monday, the moon is in Cancer and domicile. I just saw 111 on the clock. This week, we are having the sun square Neptune. Jupiter retrograde is going to square Saturn. All right, that's happening again. Saturn moving forward now. So they're going to square one more time. Lilith is opposing Chiron retrograde. Venus and Jupiter are having a trine, an air trine. The sun goes into Capricorn on Saturday, okay, and Saturday, Capricorn, all goes together. You know, Saturn rules Capricorn. And that is also the winter solstice. All right. This is the day where daylight is the shortest and evening is the longest. Okay. By the end of, December almost to January, we start to see the reversal where we start to see a little bit more increments of light by like 1 or 2 to 3 minutes more of light than the day before. So yeah, so now it's winter solstice. The solstice and the equinoxes are the reason why we use and follow astrology in the first place, because it was a way for us to tell by nature's way of what was expected to happen. The characteristics, the energy, all come from the following of nature's cycle and course. From spring being the beginning of the year to winter being the end of the year. And it's no coincidence that they have the calendar change to start during Capricorn season, right? Where it is the end and the beginning. Okay. For a while, I always felt like Capricorn season was a little bit too long and dragged out. Feel very dry and long. And then like last year, it seemed like it just kind of like flew by. Maybe because I was pregnant. I don't know. The solstice and the equinoxes are what gives us our shifts in the seasons, and those are the indicators of what time is what, especially in the northern hemisphere. What time is what, and that's how we follow them. Okay, and you got the winter solstice, Capricorn, opposite summer solstice, Cancer. And then you have the spring equinox, Aries, and the fall equinox, Libra. Okay, the cardinal signs, they're the initiating signs, right? So right now, this week, the sun will be going through the last couple degrees of Sagittarius, which is the center of the universe, or the galactic center. All right, and that's a very powerful point, because that's literally, our God era. Okay, this is the time where we are receiving the reasons during Sag season. Everything that has to do with God, of our understanding, of our reasoning. Okay, your ninth house, Sag Jupiter, is your God. or godship or God qualities, your God's gift. Okay. In that area, that sign, that ruler emphasizes what that is. So, for example, I'm probably gonna make a separate video about this, but for example, I have a ninth house cusp Aries. Okay, Aries has to do with, war, of course, but it's unique. It's about the individual. It's selfish. It's about the self identity, how we appear. Okay, and it's ruled by Mars. Okay, and Mars, or the influences of Mars, which is kind of broken up into a whole bunch of different paths, because Mars is a Roman god, but you have like Ogun, which is African tradition, and then you have like, other forms of Martian energy or fighting energy or warrior spirit energy, and a whole bunch of different cultures, but they all conclude the same type of energy where they initiate something, they start something. So, you know, being that the sun is exalted in Aries, it's like I'm aware that, I am my God. I am the God of my understanding. I am the God of my universe. But someone who has a Taurus, cusp ninth house, they may view the earth or nature is God, and the nature of themselves is God. Okay. That's just, for example. So right now, everyone has been doing their cultural things that bring them back to their God power, their understanding of God. And Capricorn season is where man becomes God in the flesh. Capricorn, Saturn has to do with the flesh. Carnival, carni means flesh. Okay, like carnivore, carnival, carnival. Yeah, let's all talk about flesh. And flesh is death. Okay, dead skin cells, dead things. Okay, Saturn, Capricorn rules time. So this year, there's going to be a lot of this time of year. There's always a lot of focus on what you do at your time. Are you maximizing your time? And Saturn also is about discipline and focus and ambition. And you can use all of those tools to set yourself up to be self sufficient, also Capricorn, and determined to be the ruler or the authority or the sovereign over yourself, or, over your own life, and taking that back from, another authority figure outside of yourself. And Capricorn Saturn energy is also connected with, governments as well, government officials, things of that nature. So this season, especially with Pluto being in Aquarius now, because it's like Saturn is Capricorn is like, okay, these are the rules, these are the regulations, these are the restrictions and limitations. And then when we go to Aquarius, which is also Saturn rule, okay, now that we know the rules, now we know which rules need to be broken. Okay, so this Capricorn season may be a little bit more spicy than normal. Okay, because Pluto is now out of Capricorn and in Aquarius, Saturn's other sign. So a lot of people will be coming together to, which I did get a lot in this week. Power struggles, probably also about money. Power struggles, people fighting back in regards to something, like groups coming together to fight back about something. Intuition over commercial and media storylines. Okay, false narratives are going to be ousted. They're going to be called out for what they are. Don't sell out. SALE. Don't sell out. Hold firm to your wealth. Okay. I am not a financial advisor or anything like that, but the theme that I did get for somewhere in the astrology for the week is to hold on to your wealth. So if you're in the stock market, trades, and all that stuff, I'm getting to hold on to your wealth. If you're saving, or you think about opening a specialized savings account that can accumulate more money than a regular account, definitely dig into that and save your wealth. Okay. Aquarius energy for this week with Venus and Pluto will be destroying traditions that have been considered in style, with the moon opposing in Leo this week. Okay, so let's get to it. Today, the 16th on Moon Day, we have Mercury station direct is trining over to Mars in Sagittarius retrograde Leo. Lilith starting its opposition within a 1 degree orb with Libra and Aries opposing each other. So with the moon trining over to Saturn in Cancer, this is a water trine. So this is our sensing, our psychic abilities, our emotions. We want to notice. What I did notice, I'm sorry, this was for me, because Libra has the South Node and Lilith. Sag, the Sun and Mercury. Aquarius, Venus and Pluto. Pisces, Saturn and Neptune. Aries, the North Node in Chiron. Now, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer has the moon, and Mars is in Leo, Jupiter is in Gemini, and Uranus and Taurus. All these are singled. They're all single. Now, the single versus, I see more of the singles setup as more like they're the leaders. Right now, they have to display some type of leadership in the areas upon which the planet is expressing that energy. Those signs are taking the leadership in that role, and those that are paired up, the Sag, Aries, Libra, Aquarius, and Pisces, those that are paired up is about them more so balancing the energy. Okay, so Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo is about leadership right now, and Sag, Aries, Aquarius, Libra, and Pisces are balancing. Okay, so going early into Tuesday, Mars Day, we have a T square with the moon, Lilith, and Chiron, which is a cardinal T square. Capricorn is not in the astrology just yet. So what I saw from this is that independence, hidden gifts, fears, and healing can result in lessons learned. So with the T square, the cardinal T square, no Capricorn, so no status or discipline just yet, but we do have a clash with independence, our hidden gifts and fears, and healing or lessons learned, all trying to find a way to work itself out because we have new ways of connecting with the Aquarius energy being in Venus right now. So the Cancer is the home. Okay, that's dominating, or because it's in its domicile energy. So this is about us being comfortable. Lilith being in Libra is a very manipulative energy, but sometimes the manipulation or alchemy that needs to be done in relationships really is just about allowing people to grow better in their relationships. Lilith in Libra is about, you know, allowing our relationships to be balanced out and eliminating power struggles, which I did see this week as well. And the Chiron retrograde is us doing that inner shadow work and finding a way to get over needing to control using our ego, and seeing that on the outside in situations and using our wisdom from our healed moments to help others. So this is be a good time to where you want to be stable where you are, but you're also seeing where you can't wait to create change and have a new livelihood. And the personal goals portion is probably the part where you feel like you can't reach or have access to or enlightenment on right now, because Capricorn is not at play here. Okay, but it is coming at the end of the week. So with the sun and moon in conjunct, this can be very odd energy because the moon is 8th house to the sun. So 8th house represents taboos, secrets, other people's money as well. If someone owes you money or there is a third party in the middle of your money, those things or information may rise to the surface through a download, divination, attending church, or being around an organized group of people that have to do with spirituality or religions. You'll receive messages regarding things having to do with the 8th house from these sources, especially if you have a regular spiritual routine, or you may just have a synchronicity that actually points to where you may have some secrets revealed to you that you probably didn't know that you may have to address. And it'll feel uncomfortable because the awareness is what's uncomfortable. The emotionality is open to receiving and accepting because it's domicile in Cancer. It's more powerful in this dynamic versus the sun that is kind of irritated. Okay, so I can also read that too as you delivering an emotional truth to someone that they may not have been aware of. And now their awareness of it, it kind of forces them to let go of some form of emotional control that they may have had on or over someone. And that makes them uncomfortable because now they're in a vulnerable state where there's nothing they can really do about it other than accept fate. All right. So then the moon is going to later trine over to Neptune, 27 degrees water trine. Now, because we are more open to certain beliefs after having the moon in the eighth house, tell us like, hey, you didn't know this, but here's some hidden truth that you need in order for you to grow spiritually and manifest in purity. So because we're more open to other beliefs of ourselves, that allows us to bring in more light or energy and information about the universe we reside in and otherworldly perspectives. Sagittarius is otherworldly. So it's like if I'm going through a situation where I've just been revealed a hidden truth about my spirituality or about my individuality, that means that now I have a certain light or a certain way of seeing things that I did not see before, and other people who are completely different from me, not even from the same culture, not from the same country at all. And we share a connectedness in that. All right. So moving on to Mercury Day, Sun squares Neptune at 27 degrees. The moon opposes Pluto while it is transiting Venus and conjunct Mars at 5 degrees. And two, the moon will also trine Aries first. So during the Sun square Neptune, this is about the inability to run or escape connections that we may have. And this will be on a very deep psychic level, like telepathy, or just being able to see the same things or share dreams with people. That can also be a thing where you're seeing certain people in your dreams, or you're seeing certain people's, or you could actually be the deliverer of your dreams for someone else. I think like that can happen where you're trying to gain some type of clarity or understanding over something that came from another place that's different from you, because both Pisces and Sagittarius are mutable signs, so they square, and they both are traditionally ruled by Jupiter. So this is about us expanding in our godship, our understanding of, our spiritual journey and why we're here. However, with Neptune, Pisces, this is also about us losing boundaries that we would normally have, getting rid of those blockages that we would normally have. That illusion that we're separate is starting to become more and more apparent when you are thinking about someone or someone else is thinking about you. So we want to learn to embrace this insight or these dreams that we may be having during this time with the moon opposite Pluto and Leo. This is a balancing act, okay, because the moon does shift pretty quickly, but the moon is also about how we give to ourselves, how we nurture ourselves, and Pluto is about destroying things. Okay, so there's something that has to be nurtured, but there's also something that has to be destroyed. So there's something old and something new that we're having an exchange with, and all of this is being done in order to purify the collective, Pluto, Aquarius, and purge ourselves of being manipulated by groups of people or specific group of people. With the moon trining the North Node in Aries, this is going to give us an inspiration or a drive or a spark needed to take action for ourselves to defend or protect ourselves. And with the North Node sextiling Pluto for the next couple months, it's going to be easier for us to want to reach for the stars, want to reach for our individuality, want to reach for knowing more about ourselves, because we're, again, releasing ourselves from the shackles of being under someone else's control. So, the exact opposition between Lilith and Chiron and 19 degrees, 19 break it down to a 1, is leadership. Okay, and it is a Libran degree. So this is justice in favor of those who are pure, independent, self-empowered. Okay, the meek shall inherit the earth is also what I wrote here. All right, and those who are fair with those spiritual gifts and talents are going to make it easier for themselves as to, break the chains of being held back by ruling authority. And again, that's an illusion. That's an illusion. I think that's in the next few years are going to cement that. It's just an illusion. Someone telling you what you can and can't do is an illusion. The whole thing, everything is kind of like made up. It's an illusion. Okay. So when people start like seeping that deep in, like, okay, this is really all a fucking illusion, then I can do whatever I want to do. And again, only the pure of heart will have the justice that they deserve. The pure of heart. Okay. So with the moon conjuncting Mars, we may be more sensitive to accidental love, drama, or even overspending. Okay, this is a day of where we could have extreme excitement. We're celebrating some type of goal or victory. We want to remember to stay grounded. Mars is retrograde with the opposition with Venus and Aqua. Um, there's the opportunity for balancing through finding small rewards and unique things. Okay, so with Mars in conjunction the moon, we don't want to jump off the porch, so to speak. We want to take it one step at a time. So with Venus and Aquarius opposition, it's like, okay, let's find the small things about ourselves, do different and unique things about ourselves to celebrate, so we don't feel like we need to go out and just grab and grab and grab and grab. We can actually take care of the things that we already have that make us different, that make us unique, and I can also attribute this to, like, don't go out and buy a whole bunch of stuff that you or your family don't need, where you have unique and different opportunities to do something for yourself or with your family that could possibly save you money, because Aquarius is very thrifty. But also you can create gifts that doesn't require much except for your attention to detail. Okay, and your unique gifts that you can give somebody that doesn't cost anything, like friendship, true friendship. Like, look for small details like that in your day on, I believe this is Wednesday, to help you kind of like monitor how much of your energy are you just throwing away or giving away to someone who, or people who may not have actually been there or given they haven't paid their dues. Okay, when justice comes to balance out the situation, are they pure of heart? Be sensible. Aquarius is air. Be sensible about all this excitement and drive that you have to go out and create something. Yes, create the thing, but remember to take it one step at a time. Don't rush to prove anything to anybody, especially when they wasn't there for you when you was shooting in the gym. Okay. So also big thing that I saw here too is if you have the book Cyclomancy, very good Aquarian energy type of book. I would look into it if I were you. Also, mental magic is going to continue to be a strong theme, Pluto and Aquarius, so get used to that as well. All right, moon opposite Venus, this is blending. So it's like blending. Are you going to blend in, or are you going to be directing the situation? Because with the moon in Leo, it craves attention. In order to nurture itself, it wants to be seen, it wants to be felt, it wants to be understood, it wants the spotlight, like a sun or Leo rising. It's just that the moon is behind the scenes, it is secretive, okay, it is taboo. So you have the opportunity to blend in and do your thing and be noticed that way, or if you want to take the leadership role and start directing things, but to purposely put yourself in a position where you try to steal or take the spotlight will not end greatly at all. Like, it's going to be very bad. So be very careful with that, or with other people. Like, you know, don't argue. Mars retrograde, don't even create an argument over it. Just let them be great, because justice will have to be served at the end of the day. So Sun square Neptune back again. This is asking us, do we have faith? Sun Sagittarius. Can we still be one with the collective in different faiths? Pisces, Neptune, okay, which it just went direct as well. So here's an internal conflict a lot of people will be experiencing, and of course, live and direct, we can see this on social media, where different people, faiths or religious views conflict with the collective, but at the same time, are we going to be forcing ourselves and others to be in one faith based way of like looking at things, or are we going to have our differences, and will we still have our differences in what we choose to believe and still respect each other's faith? Because this is an opportunity for people to start dissolving that faith systems or religion is a reason why we should divide ourselves from the collective. Okay, that's going to start taking place. And it could be something, it could be something as small as, all the talk about this guy and his girlfriend. Like, it's certain religious views that people have when it comes to something as simple as a boyfriend girlfriend relationship, what the do's or don'ts are, but depending on the culture. But collectively, we all understand respect. We all understand, self-sufficiency. We all understand family dynamics and how important family is, and how sometimes family can cross the line when it comes to one-on-one partnerships. Like, everyone collectively can agree on certain things. So are we going to allow the faith or religious aspect of situations to completely blind us to the fact that we're still all in this together? So Thursday, the last Thursday of Sagittarius season, very abundant day. Okay. This is the disseminating moon phase. The moon is going to sextile in Leo to retrograde Jupiter to Gemini. This is the ability for us to alleviate the friction by learning or relearning different views and opinions or perspectives or storylines of another person's religion or faith, information about their faith, so we can continue to dissolve those elusive boundaries that a lot of people have that collectively doesn't really exist. Okay, we're going to find a lot of information that could be very useful now, instead of using worn out thought patterns, and Aquarius positions are helping us upgrade our software system to make that a lot easier. With the moon being at the karmic degree, 18 degrees, is going to sextile Lilith and trine over to Chiron, as they're both still opposing each other. Jupiter retrograde is going to get closer to a perfect trine with Venus at 13 degrees. This is an air trine. So this has a lot to do with communication over long distances. This is what I talk about. Groups of people are going to get together and create something to fight some type of resistance against another group of people. And because Venus involved, this may have to do with money, or what's best for people aesthetically, or what's best for people. A group of people banding together to create a resistance against another across countries. A new fighting technique over internet for games, for groups, not personal. This is an attempt to regain control of narratives with the Sun square Neptune, try to create or erasing the memories of those who are trying to, bring people together. They're trying to erase that. Someone is bringing proofs of a conversation where somebody tried to erase or create a false narrative. or required a combo with millions quickly by using technology to build a new application or device as a resistance. Okay. And with all the talk going on about drones and stuff, that could definitely be it. But I was definitely seeing this having to do with, social media platforms of that nature. But I definitely see like people coming together and putting their beliefs, some of their beliefs aside for a greater cause. Jupiter is expansion. They want to expand on something. That means they have to sacrifice something else for a greater cause. Okay. Now, Venus and Jupiter exact trine at 14 degrees Taurus. Okay, again, Venusian energy. So this is doing what is best long term for a greater outcome. Take time to rebuild, but will be working with skill sets that have already been learned when it comes to how they're going to expand and stabilize themselves as a resistance moving forward. Okay, this doesn't have to take place in the US. I can definitely see this taking place overseas more so than here. I feel like here is going to be more so related to technology, but overseas, I feel like it's going to be related to groups of people using technology to communicate with each other to stay on one accord. And it could be covering like massive amounts of land. That's why it's like they're communicating over like long distances, like countrywide. Okay. Now Jupiter square Saturn returning. Okay. Again, I said this was some changes in the education system, telecommunication system. I don't know what it is that I wrote here, but I put petitions as well. So this is Pisces square Gemini. Pisces again is about dissolving or dilution or delusions. And spirituality, where Gemini is about communication, storylines, transformation, transportation, as well as hands, lungs, of that nature. So I said the great deception if unaware of self-science. Okay, so if you don't know your science, or if you haven't learned and studied yourself, the expansion of an authority's narrative or storyline about your health can put you at great risk and great harm. So please study natural remedies as well as your natural body. Get your blood type, learn your body, learn to connect with your body. Okay, learn to connect with your body. Learn, Gemini, learning. Okay, so Moon square Uranus Taurus. This is Leo square Taurus. So there can be some conflicted energy when it comes to investing, and most of the investments may have to do with pharmaceutical care, healthcare systems, drugs, picking up what I'm putting down. Okay. Some storylines are about to bust open about people's health moving forward. Don't fall into the fear mongering. Again, look into natural health care. I said health care. All right, but there's going to be conflict when it comes to what to invest in now. So with Mercury retrograde station and direct, there may be someone who needs to recollect or regroup on some fear of misjudged information that may have been put out. This can also be on a micro level, us misjudging ourselves, feeling like we're lazy or being a sloth when really our bodies is going through a software update and we're still in a leadership position, again with Taurus and Leo being like the singulars. So evolution is favored here. Allow yourself to evolve at a slow rate, Taurus, and don't be in a rush to move through the process. Let it happen naturally. Okay, going back to the natural Mother Earth, right? So Freya Day, Friday, Venus Day. On the 20th, we have the moon going into Virgo. After the moon trines the sun at the very tail end of Leo and Sagittarius. Again, we have some encouraging visions and thoughts. Square Neptune, where we're going to have to sacrifice something in order to attain that dream and vision. Despite anything we can perceive as good and bad, we can sacrifice that in order for us to lean more into what is our God source wisdom have to say about the subject. Okay. remove the human quality of overthinking and feel more, see more. Okay. Based on frequency is how we'll be able to receive the message in return. So keep elevating your energy. Okay. Leo is joy. Sagittarius has to do with spiritual or faith, freedom through faith. And this is the last day for the Sagittarius sun, Venus in Aquarius day, which is separating from Jupiter trine while it's retrograde in Gemini. So this is going to be a pretty light day. Pretty light day. The moon will square Mercury session direct at 8 degrees, which is a mutable square with Jupiter in square Saturn. And then Lilith still opposite Chiron retrograde. So it kind of looks like Jupiter and Saturn are here, Moon and Mercury are here, and then right in the middle on the balance beam is Libra and Chiron. Okay, you got air and fire, and then you got the Jupiter and Saturn that's Gemini and Pisces, and then you got Virgo and Sag on the other side. Okay, so you got all of them at play. Now it's like relationships versus the self. Okay, the moon is in Virgo, which Virgo's ruler is Mercury, and they're squaring each other. So to me, that's like trying to compute a lot of information that you may be picking up telepathically or clairaudiently, claircognizance. Like you're picking up a lot of information and you're trying to understand it with your, mental capacities and stuff like that. And then the self side is, restriction and expansion. So restriction is moving forward, but expansion, is kind of slow because it's retrograde right now between Saturn and Jupiter. So we want to refrain from being overly attached or codependency behaviors, whether it's a person, place, thing, or idea. Okay. Saturn in Pisces is teaching us how to let go of things and how to deal with loss. Okay. So that restriction is moving forward so we can focus our vision exactly in a way that's going to help us continue to move forward. If we have too much expansion and not enough restriction, then our energy can kind of be all over the place. And if we're trying to heal how we do relationships one-on-one where we feel empowered, and at the same time, we're healing our ego so we don't have to subject ourselves to trying to overpower someone else or allowing ourselves to be overpowered by another person, it could be a lot. It could be a lot. There could definitely be some conversations that need to take place where you have a one-on-one where you both can come to a resolve. Like we don't have to depend on each other in order to be successful, to be healthy, to be anything, micro and macrocosm level. We don't have to depend on a government. We don't have to depend on our parents. We don't have to depend on our siblings. We don't have to depend on nothing other than our higher power. We don't have to depend on anything but our higher power and letting it guide us in the directions we're meant to go. Still being human, okay? Because we're still dealing in the flesh suit. So expect mistakes, expect slip ups. But that's why the communication can be so rough with the square, because it's like intuitively you may have an understanding of what's going on, but Mercury is still in the shadow phase, so it's still a lot for us to probably process in the last few weeks what has taken place. And this could have been for a whole year, honestly. What's been going on with you as an individual and trying to navigate that conversation with someone else who may have been a part of the pain and not more of the pleasure. Okay. So on Saturday, Saturn's Day, mirroring numbers 12 and 21, okay, is the winter solstice, the longest night, shortest day. The moon will oppose Pisces at 13 degrees, about 9 to around 10 a.m. Eastern time. Okay, it's time for us to discover this Capricorn season that we are gods. That's the whole point of Capricorn season, is to embody that God energy while you're still in the flesh. Okay, while you're still in the flesh, to make things easier, work smarter, not harder. So this will be a good time to focus on enjoying the flesh, enjoying your time while you are here, and laughing at yourself, laughing at your mistakes. If you have issues or um, some issues with laughing at yourself or any of the mistakes that you've made this year, reach out to a Cancer place, strong, heavy Cancer placement or a Cancer sun. Okay. They will help you to learn to laugh at yourself because they might laugh at you. So the sun will square the nodes, Capricorn Aries square. This is like not knowing there's more to life than ruling, controlling, or power playing, because it's more powerful to let go of control. Okay. And that's the North Node is guiding us on the way in which we should be going. However, Capricorn is like when it comes to the flesh, the spirit is eager, but the flesh is weak, right? Right? You get it? So moon opposite Saturn gives us ability to assess those details of, that and what the retrograde was putting down, so we could pick up where we left off. With the shortness of day and the disseminating moon, we want to avoid burnouts by getting as much rest as possible, organize our time according to how things are going with us naturally. Pluto Aquarius will encourage us to continue to know thyself. With Venus, we're receiving knowledge needed to go against the status quo. So a lot of people will be doing a lot of things that we are meant to do, but we're still honoring the flesh because we still got to take care of this body. You only get one body. You got to take care of it. And you can't allow authority outside of you to run you. You have to know yourself and work with that science. So the moon square Jupiter at 14 degrees. Any type of friction or resistance against this will cause some type of anxiety, and we can get relief from creating a new storyline, saying affirmation, allowing us again to detach and not be codependent on old traditions that are increasingly becoming a thing of the past, because your reality is going to be the newest trend versus you following commercial or consumerism's message. Okay. And Sunday, the 22nd, the moon will trine Uranus, which is an earth trine. This is where I was saying hold on to your wealth. Nine of Pentacles is, one step away from the Empress. Okay. This is where we kind of take notice of our accomplishments, how good everything has been, all the hard work we have done thus far. We don't have the 10th Pentacle yet. We're not the Empress or Emperor just yet. But we get to actually look around and acknowledge what we've done so far. Okay, it is a Venus card, so it does, and it is an Earth Venus card, so it does have to do with the physicality, the materialism. Like, appreciate what you have. All right, you could use the universe prayer evocations during the solstice period or Yule if you celebrate. I also see this as a great opportunity to probably find some bargains at this time, last minute sales. With the opposition to Pisces, the moon will make at 27 degrees. There will be an incoming of fog, like mental fog, emotional fog that will come through. And this is for you to hold on to your intuition until the fog disappears and the moon shifts into Libra, which walks us right into our third quarter square of the month. So, the moon in South Node in Libra trine Pluto, which is the air trine. Okay, this is power dynamics and relationship, power struggles, arguments regarding money, unknown issues, or emotional plays. No, will go down to 1 degree Aries. It moves into Pisces January 28th. Yeah, so there's going to be a bit of fog coming in the tail end of the moon Virgo cycle. And you just want to trust you're being guided in a direction that is good for you. Should you have any issues when it comes to struggles with money or feeling like someone owes you and they didn't pay all of it, again, hold on to your wealth. Hold on to your wealth And I'm not just talking cash, I'm talking wealth, self assurance, self preservation, self determination, self awareness, self care. Hold on to your wealth, family, time, peace, music. Hold on to your wealth. Don't let someone else knock you off your square or manipulate you. Okay, don't let anyone manipulate you. And if you do run into situations with people who are only, if you do run into situations with people where they're only about power dynamics and not really about friendship and love, then you know what to do. Thank you for tuning into this message here on I Am Luminescent. If you found this information valuable, go ahead and like. Make sure you subscribe to the channel before you leave. And thank you again. And remember, the universe is always supporting you. Okay, so stay radiant, stay aligned, and until next time, see you.